Yo, what's going on, people? I go by Rasdakai, and this is my channel called Rasdakai. Feel free to check out parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and wait for 5. Yeah. Yeah, so without further ado, part 4 of Shooting the Shit with
And
Rasool.
the ones that
Mm-hmm.
take the chance, I think they find that if maybe now it's less true, and I think there's a lot of avenues to the audience now.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
today's world, the world of the YouTube era, if you will. So
Mm-hmm.
now, I mean, I could see you could turn down a role, still reach your audience, there still be demand for you, and that you could land a role promoting yourself. But man, if you were
Mm-hmm.
a black filmmaker, black actor, anytime before the last 15 years, there were almost no avenues to promote yourself and not have to go through a major studio, major publishers for your works, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, let's see, I'm trying to think of other people because I know that Tyler Perry, he's doing his thing, so people can now perhaps go to him and be like, "Yo, I want to make a movie. Uh, can you help me? You know what I'm saying? Like, will you put some funding behind it? Can we film at your studio?"
Oh yeah.
And as more time goes by, there's gonna be more black people. I hope maybe even myself that do well enough in film so that they can have like their own production lot and company and everything else, and like black people can come to them, and we can have like films of our own by our own
Mhm.
that won't be dictated by people that don't understand. Because what movie was that? Yeah. Actually, speaking of Tyler Perry, um one of his films, maybe Diary of a Mad Black Woman, he
Mhm.
pitched it to that particular company, and they came back and was like, "Hey, so we need to make some changes and all this other shit." And he was like, "No."
You know, I,
And
and, I, and that's such a. I think it says so much about Tyler Perry's business prowess, but then maybe at the core, his unshakable belief that he could find a way without them.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think throughout black folks' history in the entertainment industry and in America, period, there's always been this prisoner's dilemma. Do you cooperate with the system a little bit and lend yourself some cover or maybe some comfort or maybe even some amount of success, or do you not cooperate, not go through the approved channels for you and risk having to build everything on your own because there's no space in the industry or in that particular um, I guess you know yeah, in that industry for you. And so I think in a lot of cases with black filmmakers, you want to make your career, you want to work. This is so
Hmm.
core to the black experience and the things that we have to continue to fight to change and to support films that fall outside of just the industry because on so many levels this is still you know a perpetual cycle where we don't have enough talent with a say, and you have to build it from scratch if you go outside the system and you don't want to wear the dress, and
Hmm.
people start saying that you're difficult to work with. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we need to, the sad thing is that there's so much that's been lost and people just simply not getting paid what they were worth. We'd have 10 Tyler Perrys, or 20 of
Hmm.
them, and whole black publishing houses and movie studios if it hadn't been for the blatant racial, discrimination and built into law and built into the industry.
Hmm. Yeah. The thing about Tyler Perry that made him his situation special was that he he came with his audience already with him. You know what I'm saying? He had already built up a group of people that would loyally, like absolutely, go and see his movie. You know what I'm saying? So he had confidence in his project, because he knew people was supporting him. He had confidence that people were gonna come to the theater and everything.
Right.
So he could say no, because he knows like what his product is worth. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. And he built his
it's
audience. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. It's different for him. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like that damn near may be like the way in. You know what I'm saying?
No,
is
it
to it
is.
yeah it's to have your audience have your product and know that product's worth, and like don't buzz, like maintain your creative control.
Your creative
uh
integrity, right?
yeah, because like, people, they think they know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think they know more than you do. But as a creator, you are like the master of this shit. Like nobody knows this shit better than you.
And
And
certainly
like
no
some
one can embody the black experience and reach the black audience more than black people and
Yeah,
black creators. And so
yeah.
I think, definitely if there's any kind of, I think it's a matter of justice in the entertainment industry, just like we have to have, justice in many other industries that were touched by, racial oppression, slavery, Jim Crow laws, and kind of, the unbroken chain of exclusion. And this is one of the places, the enablement of black people to create their own channels that we have purview over, that we get the full percentage of,
Hmm.
and then you can come and feature on my film, or you can come feature on my song, or
Yeah.
you can come get a credit, as on my book, or what have you. And there's
Hmm.
got to be more of that infrastructure, and obviously this conversation is getting bigger than just the film industry, but we got to have that infrastructure in place so that people can be creative and authentic, and that there's no thumb on them saying no. I'm going to block you from the audience because, um, you know,
I
I,
disagree. I don't like what you're
I
saying.
don't like what you're saying. I
I
don't.
am offended.
I think her hair should be blonde, or I think the
Yeah,
lead
like,
character
oh
should
my
be a
god.
white guy,
Yeah,
or what have you.
like, dude,
Come
like,
on, man.
why do you have an afro? Like, why don't you just perm your hair or something? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
Like,
You
dude,
know,
like, what the fuck?
I'm sure we'd be shocked if we knew some of the conversations. The dress
Ooh,
thing, the
man.
dress conversation,
Yeah.
just crazy. So, yeah, very, very interesting, and I hope that there's some continued movement there to get the next Tyler Perry or two in
Hmm.
place, and support that and fund that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that movement has begun today.
I hope so. Yeah, maybe we can.
uh,
Maybe
I'm
we
trying
can
to
do
kick some
that.
ass out here. Fuck that.
Hell yeah.
I'm saying, because that's something that with my channel, with my creative voice, like I kind of want to push that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's work together, let's grow, let's, you know what I'm saying, like, let's elevate, let's create, and let's gain like a higher with like understanding of the world around us. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I am eternally grateful for
Mm.
your help and contribution.
Oh no, absolutely. I want the same things, and I think it's very important. I think this conversation is important, and you have to just try to keep inspiring people to bring their authentic selves to their works, and hopefully there will be a payoff in it for more and more people, so we can get, just get a good cycle, positive cycle going, not a cycle of being in a deficit and not getting what you're owed, but maybe finally it's like some justice there, and getting your just due in this thing.
Yeah, I feel like uh, there almost needs to be a new trend of ideology, or like a different way of thinking. And I feel like the door is kind of open for that in the black community, in particular. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like people are kind of hungry for it. but we
Oh
don't
yeah.
have like enough voices out there yet. Like we don't have like uh like the right formula yet or some shit, you know what I'm saying? But we're getting there. You know, we just need like a little bit more nudges, like a few more mirrors to like look at ourselves, where we're going, what we're
You
pushing,
know,
what we're promoting.
the entertainment industry, I think that one of the biggest steps that's happened in the last 15 years, maybe, in enabling creators of color and enabling black creators is the existence of the Netflix model and
Mm,
having films that are being produced from end to end, and having them on their own production studios, first party, so that
mm-hmm,
if you want black talent and we know that the money's there and the audience is there, the eyeballs are there when you actually look at it and you look at the numbers. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's going to peak anytime soon if you can continue to enable black voices, because it comes from such an authentic place. It makes it feel real again, not this cookie cutter, canned, rewritten, rehashed, retold stories that have been recycled over and over again. These tropes, these Hollywood tropes.
mm-hmm,
And I think the fact that Netflix kind of came out and they said, you know what, we got the subscription model thing down. Now let's take it to the next level and make sure that we own these films and can put on the film that we want to put on. And
mm-hmm.
seeing their work with like Dave Chappelle, who we've already talked about and discussed,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, as a creative person, the fact that he had that moment where he was like, hey, there's an injustice that happened with the Chappelle show. I don't want anybody to watch it. And in solidarity, you could never imagine a major studio doing what Netflix did and pulling that series down off of there
Mm-hmm,
because of the economic injustice that he was not getting paid from that he been suckered into this, you know this terrible contract,
mm-hmm.
um, like so many young artists do on their first go. They get
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
hosed. And I think in Chappelle's case, he did a really human thing by going to the people and saying, "Hey, please, please don't consume this because of the injustice that happened," and have Netflix be able to respond to that. So, my point is, you know, definitely it's in the air, it's in the water. That there's change, but we need another 10 Netflix to outweigh and start to recoup the wages the oppression have removed from the black creators.